And we are live. Gameweek 38. We finally made it. Joe here from Draft FPL as always. Oh, the Twitter is going mad. We've got leaks, lineups, everything. It's absolutely kicking off. So I've basically got a document up with all the teams, and I'm just, as soon as I see something that's like pretty verified, pretty legit, I'm just going to put it on the team news. And then we can just go from there. I'm also going to be making my transfers and transactions on draft as well, like live. So I may be a little bit distracted at some point if there's some leaks that are going to affect me. So I'll just go straight over to it now. So this is what we got so far. So Arsenal, Saka and Trossard, who were both doubts, are in the squad. Liverpool, no Alisson or VVD in the squad at all. So I would expect Kelleher to start. I might put that on here. Ooh. So Man City, no KDB, Diaz, Grealish or Akanji in the squad at all. That's what they're saying, so that is quite interesting. Also seeing Haaland benched, which is not ideal. So we can pretty much guarantee that Alvarez is going to be starting up front. We're probably going to see Foden. Pretty confident we'll see Foden on the left, and then probably Mahrez on the right. Bernardo Silva and Gundogan in midfield would be my guess. So that is not ideal. The centre-backs for Liverpool, I'm almost certain Matip starts. That is, like, I can't see how it wouldn't be Matip. I suspect Gomez alongside him would be my guess. So, yeah, that's interesting. Ederson starts, I'm seeing. I've got that. Yeah, that is... Yes, that is big. Because there's a lot of people that were, toying with Ortega. I've got a feeling that this Man City line is going to fill up pretty quick. Because like 95% of the news is City. I've also got there's a potential full United lineup going round, but it's not 100%, and it's like unconfirmed. This is someone that like hasn't come in before. That's De Gea, Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia, Fred, Casemiro, Sancho, Bruno, Rashford, Garnacho, which does make sense to me because I've seen that Garnacho is starting, so he's on here under United. I've got Rashford, Garnacho starts. They're two pretty much certainties. Garnacho, I've actually just run over to FPL and picked him up in like 3 leagues because Garnacho is pretty widely available. I think this United Fulham game is going to be full of goals, so I think Garnacho is a definite pickup at the moment. Leak saying Ferguson bench. No, that could be a disaster. Let me see what I can see about that. I could really do with Ferguson bench started, mainly because I'm thinking about bringing him in on FPL, like regular FPL. But obviously I won't be doing that if he is not starting. Phil Foden and Riyad Mahrez start today for Man City. This is apparently a news source, so I don't love it when they say that. I'm getting this basically all from Twitter. Various Twitter accounts that have people like in the know. Most of them, I only really pay attention to ones that have like given news before and have already like got it correct in the past. I don't really like news sources, so I try and stick to people that have done it like over and over again. If Ferguson's benched, then I'm in a real quandary with my FPL team. I'm gonna have to go over there and have a look around for that. Garnacho for Wissa or Decore. I like both of those options. I'd probably say Wissa just because City are less likely to concede, I think. I do actually quite fancy Wissa, though, to be honest. I do feel like there probably will be goals in that game. But yeah, it's hard to tell. It is definitely hard to tell. Right, I'm just going to briefly... Oh, hang on. We've got Leicester here. Barnes, Iheanacho and Maddison front three. Oh. Barnes, Nacho, Maddo start. That is big because Iheanacho is pretty widely available. So, excuse me quickly while I just go and check. Because I could do with a forward in some of these leagues. Especially if Ferguson's not going to start. Please be free. No! Okay, what about in this league? Nope. This is the problem with playing with good managers. Pyramid League, he's got to be free. Bingo. Oh. Now, this is dodgy because Watkins is leaked. Martial is apparently not starting. So I'm just going to go for it. It's a shame because I fancied Martial in this game, but I've seen multiple people say that Martial and Shaw are not going to be starting. So I'm just going to bite the bullet, I think. Would you grab Iheanacho for Solanke? I probably would. Leicester are desperate and Bournemouth are not. Like, Bournemouth are, like, chilling. This team's got problems. Mina, Gay, so the back four should be fine. I don't really want to play double Palace defence, even though it's a decent fixture. I feel like there's going to be goals. Kanji's not in the squad. Mahrez is going to start now, actually, which I didn't think he would at the time, so I can play him. Kanji's going to go shortly. Right, let me see if there's anything. It's starting to come in thick and fast. Right, let me go on to the... So, United, Martial. No, Martial. Sure. Any news on Wilson? That is a big one. I haven't seen anything. Let me see. There is a guy. There's not that. No. There is a Newcastle guy that normally has the info. I can't remember what his Twitter is. It's something Geordie. FPL Geordie, is that him? No, that's not him. Geordie. Oh, I can't remember. Ferguson, yeah, probably in Caesar benched as well. And Caesar's okay because somehow I don't actually own him at all. So I'm not too fussed about that, but I'll put this in here. Let's put this up on the screen. Ferguson, oh, fucking bold. Ferguson and Caesar benched. Where's that? There's a Seagulls guy on Twitter that normally has pretty good information. Don't know if he's tweeted anything yet. Oh, stress. Garnacho or Jones? I've actually just done that exact move. Garnacho in, Jones out. I did that about 5 minutes ago in one of my teams because I just think, like, no VVD for Liverpool just makes them play worse as a team. Like, his distribution hurts them. And I feel like Garnacho, if there's no Anthony and there's no Martial, it kind of means that there's going to be more shots around for the rest of them, because both Martial and Anthony both kind of hog shots. So I actually kind of fancy Garnacho. I think Fulham can't defend that well. Iheanacho over Edouard. I think unless we find out Edouard is definitely starting, that's the only thing, right? If we know Iheanacho's starting and we don't know about Edouard, I'd definitely take Iheanacho. But if we know Edouard's starting as well, then I'd probably take him. I don't know about Ferguson for sure. It's only what I've seen in the chat. So I don't know about Ferguson 100%, but it seems like he's benched. Couldn't pick up Decore from waivers. Stuck with Diaz, Trossard, Gundo. I think you might be good with all three. I mean, Diaz we'll have to wait and see. Like, that's the one. I'm pretty sure Trossard is going to start. And from the leaks we've had about City, no KDB and no Haaland. I just feel like Gundogan has to start again, even though he keeps starting, because if he's, who else are they going to play in midfield? I don't know. I guess they could play Foden and Mahrez and Bernardo Silva but Alvarez has to start up front because there's no Haaland. So Decore versus Jack Harrison. I'd probably take Decore just because I feel like they're the more Everton are going to attack more than Leeds, I think, and I feel like Bournemouth is a better fixture. Well, it's definitely a better fixture. Would you drop either of those three for Buendia? I think I'd probably hold Diaz, Trossard, Gundo. Diaz might not start, but even if he comes on for half an hour, which he probably, at the very worst, you're going to get 30 minutes out of him. And 30 minutes against Saints is probably enough to potentially get a return. I think, I definitely would consider picking up alternative Liverpool defence. Matip would be Konate's ill as well, right? We don't actually know if even Konate's fit. It seems like he's ill. So I think Matip and Gomez is probably the most likely. I'd definitely go Matip because I feel like he's slightly more likely, but that's just my own kind of feeling. Buendia or Nacho, which one would you start? I'd start Nacho. I'm glad he's starting because I think he's just like the best of the goal scorers. Oh, Moz. Yeah, I am ready. I'm nervous. If hang on, let me get it up. So we have a league, the Pyramid League, and I have been top since about Christmas. And hang on, let me zoom in a bit there. I've been top since like Christmas. And I lost last, and Ketsubaya's Kitbag, who is Moz from Jimmy Raikkonen in the chat, has been 1 point behind me or 2 points behind me for basically the whole year. I lost last week with an absolutely brutal. I mean, look at this. Look at this team. It was just like the worst double game week ever. I had 8 double game week players. Grealish got 0 minutes. Ake 0 minutes. Akanji got subbed off 2 minutes before the 60-minute mark to lose a clean sheet. Mahrez 5 points in a double. Sterling only played once and got injured in the double game week. It's just an absolute disaster. And then almost single game week players. Gay, he conceded. Tierney conceded. They lost to Forest. Had a disastrous week. But Moz picking up the wins. I'd like to win, but I think his team's too good to lose in the final game week. So I think it's probably going to be second place for me in this league. But it's not bad. It's good enough. Right, let's get back to the Wilson or Isaac. That's really until we know for sure. I think that's really difficult. Really difficult. Yeah, really, really difficult. I think Wilson. I'm pretty confident Wilson's going to start. Do you think Kulusevski will play for Spurs? I would guess yes. I would guess he does start. But I really don't know. I'm not a massive fan of Kulusevski, really, to be honest. Any news on Firmino? Nothing. I've not had aside from no VVD or Alisson. I've had nothing else on Liverpool. I'm hoping we get like a proper lineup for Liverpool, because I remember like there's a couple of years ago on the last day they started this wild lineup with like Divock Origi and like Trent was benched, Mane benched, all these players benched. So if we get that again, that would be ideal, because I reckon there could be some interesting starts for Liverpool. Gray over Ferguson or Doucouré over KDB? Already with McNeil. I think got to do Doucouré over KDB. I mean, KDB's not in the squad. That's like, I would say that's as confirmed as we'll ever get. Like, KDB is not in the squad. So, I'd be dropping, personally. Where is that? That came from like 3 different people that, you know, KDB's not in the squad. So, he's got to go. Cole Palmer, Rico Lewis. I've actually just seen, as you said that, Rico Lewis starts. I think that was from someone reliable. I'm sure I just saw that. McAllister and Caicedo start. Matoma on the bench. Buonanotte starts for Brighton. So, wow. So Ferguson, Enciso, Matoma benched is what I'm seeing. Mac starts. Buena starts. Goodness, it is all going on. We still got we still got an hour to go. It's going to be like 10 minutes before the deadline. It's going to be utter chaos. And also the FPL site has crashed a couple of times with like 5 minutes to go before the deadline. So I would be wary about trying to make moves in like the absolute last second. I've just seen someone ask about Firmino, and the guy that generally leaks stuff has said not yet. There's a guy on Twitter called Alex who predicts the City lineups, and he's really good at it. And with the leaks that have already come, he's predicting Foden, Alvarez, Mahrez, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva as the front 5, then Rico and Stones behind. So I would imagine it would then be Walker, Rodri and Laporte, maybe. But that's just me kind of guessing. Backline of Everton. My guess would be Yerry Mina and Tarkovsky. Mikalenko left back. And so I think Patterson's out at right back. Coleman's definitely out. So I really don't know who's going to start at right back. Maybe Michael Keane. Although it could be Mikalenko could be right back and McNeil could start left back, because that's kind of the thing that Dyche likes to do. Heading to the pub to see it play out. Yeah, enjoy Moz. I'll be down there in a couple of hours. Not the same pub, obviously. Like if Cole Palmer, I just don't know. I really don't know about Cole Palmer. Lewis Hall, Chukwuemeka. I would be certain Lewis Hall starts. Although he's a midfielder, which is annoying. If he was a defender, I think he'd be a pretty good pick, but he's a mid, which isn't ideal. Undav and Welbeck start, as we see. Okay. That makes sense. Fred and Harry Maguire start. Malacia starts. Oh my god, I can't keep up. Rashford, Garnacho, Malacia, Fred, Maguire. I'm suddenly very, very uninterested in the United defence. I want no part of this defence at all. I might need to check over my lineups and make some tweaks. I'm not keen on this back line. If we're seeing Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia, with Fred, I guess Fred and Casemiro holding, that's not ideal. Which 3 defenders would you start? White, Dunk, Konsa, Matip, Walker. I would probably start White and hang on. Let me check. What does my cheat sheet recommend? Little plug for the cheat sheet. So I would start definitely White, probably Walker and Matip, I think. White Walker and Matip, I think would be my choice. Gordon / Elliot Anderson, that's a good one. I would really like the Newcastle lineup. Really, really like it. But I've not got anything on Newcastle yet. Mahrez and Foden both start. Well, we kind of knew that anyway. So, Edison, Mahrez, Foden. That's great news. That is really good news as someone who has Mahrez in a couple of leagues. Oh, we got the full lineup here. So, the City lineup. Wow. That can't be right. That cannot be right. Okay, this is pretty wild. So the City lineup, we're looking at Edison, Walker, Ake, Laporte, Gomez, Lewis, Phillips, Palmer, Foden, Mahrez, Alvarez. So there's no Gundo, which really surprises me. But Gooner Nation, that helps you because I would bench Gundo. It looks like he's not going to play. If we're seeing Phillips and Palmer is a great pickup. Let me pull up the leagues. Is Palmer a forward or is he a mid? I assume he's a mid. Do I drop Almiron for Cole Palmer? I'll think about that and come back to that one. Palmer is free in, I think, like 99.5% of leagues, I think. So, these mids are amazing. I'm not dropping any of these. The 300 leagues kind of irrelevant because I've not really got anything to play for, but always nice to go out on a win. Oh, look at this. Jun. Naughty boy. Already got him. Classic. Oh, you got him on waivers yesterday. Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought you just picked him up in the last 2 seconds. That would have been impressive. Almiron versus Cole Palmer. That's the question. Almiron versus Cole. I mean, who would I bench if I picked up Palmer? Probably none of them. If these are all going to start, I don't. Maybe Decore, but I quite like the thought of Decore. 1 hour to go, boys. 1 hour to go. Mikalenko for Keane. I think I'd probably just stick with Mikalenko. I think he's probably more likely. Callum Wilson, I think, is a really good pick. I'd be happy to start him. I think he's great. Like, probably the best pick in the game at the moment, to be honest. Gray, Palmer, or Wissa? I think probably Palmer. I like Cole Palmer. I think he's good. I think he's really good. I think Cole Palmer's a really good, fun pick as well. Maybe Wissa. I'm not keen on Gray much because I don't really know if he's going to start. I mean, like, he definitely could, but equally they could just start. They could start Mope, couldn't they? Is he fit? I think Mope's fit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mope start over Damari Gray. Elise versus Harrison versus Iwobi. Or if anyone cares about Leeds. Who doesn't care about... Of course we care about Leeds. Okay, I've got the full Leeds lineup if anyone cares. Obviously we care because this is draft, right? So I'm just going to type in the full Leeds lineup for anyone that cares. So it's Robles, Ayling, Christensen, Cooper, Woba, Strike, McKennie, Cock. He's got 6 defenders playing. Forshaw, Harrison, Rodrigo. That is the confirmed 11. I'm going to unload that so that everything... Oh, it doesn't fit. Annoying. Let's cut off Wolves. There we go. Damn it. Right. So, Nonto, if you own him, drop. Who else? Bamford, drop. That's probably it. Estupinan, Gahey, Cash. As in, which would you start? I'd start Gahey and then Estupinan and then Cash, probably. Drop Matoma for Palmer. I think so. I mean, you know, the biggest driver of points in FPL and draft is minutes. So I would go for the guy who starts. So I would drop Matoma for Palmer. It's like a bit of a risk because obviously Matoma could come on and score, but I'd rather the starter personally. Man, might be too short for Sean Dyche starting. Yeah, it definitely seems like that. Gakpo, Elise, Gross, Jones, Luis Diaz. Any I should swap out. I'm hoping we'll get a Liverpool lineup. You know, we don't know for sure. I'm hoping we'll get a Liverpool lineup, so that can be answered closer to the thing. Should I drop Ferguson and start on my mids? I would. Oh, that's tough. I would probably bench Gundogan. I don't think there's much point in starting him. If he's not starting, it seems. Actually, I'm just going to type in the City lineup here. So, what we've got is Edison, Walker, Ake. I just dropped him. Laporte, Gomez, Lewis, Phillips, Palmer, Foden, Mahrez, Alvarez. So that is a confirmed lineup for City. Yeah, it's tough dropping Matoma. If you've had him since like he really burst onto the scene, it is tough. Saka, Gakpo, Jones, Iwobi, Elise. Should I drop any of them for Buonanotte? I think probably not. I think I would if you've. I mean, unless you're busy for the next 57 minutes, I would wait. If you have to do it now because you're like going to the shops or something, then I would probably drop him for Jones, I think. But if you can wait, I mean, I'm sure we'll get a Liverpool lineup because there's certain teams that we always seem to get like full lineups for, and that is one of them. Need some Arsenal team news. Got ESR starting in my lineup right now. Yeah, that's I'm not convinced ESR will start, but he definitely could. Definitely could. New City 11. I'm getting these leaks from Twitter, but like I'm kind of filtering out the ones that I don't believe because there's like a few Twitter accounts that are really reliable. So I'm trying to act as a filter. I don't know what to do in like normal FPL. I've got my team is a mess. Simicast or Lewis. Lewis is starting, definitely. We know that. Front three: Bobby, Wilson, Jesus, and Nacho. Who to pick? That is tough. That is really tough. I think you have to start Jesus. I think you have to start Wilson. So Firmino or Nacho. I think if we find out about Firmino, then I would play. Like if Firmino starts, I'd play him. If he doesn't, I'd play Iheanacho personally. Would you bench Haaland for Palmer? I wouldn't bench Haaland. Haaland's in the squad. That's as much as I'm aware. Haaland is in the squad, but not starting. Now, I don't think that matters that much. I'd be happy to start him anyway. Even if he gets 20 minutes, like it's worth starting him, I think, personally. So I'd probably still start him. The Leeds Spurs game might be high scoring. Would you play McKennie over someone like Paqueta or Ramsey? I don't think I would. McKennie, I don't know. He does get forward a bit. The problem is Ramsey's on a great run of form at home. So I'd like to start Ramsey, definitely. So I think it would come down to Paqueta. Now, Paqueta, I think you're probably likely to get something, I think. So I'd probably stick with those two. Unless we find out they don't start, of course. What's this? YouTube are trying to get me to play an ad. Madison captain took a hit for Haaland to Kane. Fair enough. Lewis or Gomez or both? Both, I think. We don't know about Gomez yet, but I've got a hunch he starts, but I don't know for sure. Would you bench Undav, Elise or Wilson? Oh, that's tough. That is really tough. Probably Undav. Who have been your most disappointing draft picks this year? Are you going to make a recap video? I probably will make a recap video, yeah. I probably will. My most disappointing draft pick easily by miles is Raheem Sterling. It's not even close. I drafted him in 2 leagues. I thought it was great. I mean, it seems he kind of come out recently and said it seems like he's been injured for most of the year, which makes sense because I do think he's better than he has been showing. But Raheem Sterling has absolutely killed me in the Snake Draft League. Absolutely killed me. Are you sure about the City lineup? I'm sure. Yeah, 100% sure. I'm sure. Well, it's not my information, but I would say that the person who sends this stuff in to the guy on Twitter has correctly got the lineup right, like over and over again. So it's about as reliable as you can get, I would say. I mean, it's obviously not 100%, but about as 100% as you can get. And I definitely would drop Gundogan for Palmer. Definitely. I would. Yeah. And it makes sense. I was a bit confused about why Gundogan would start 3 times in a week when they've got, cup finals coming up. So I would drop Gundogan and for Palmer. Yes, I would. Would you play in Caesar or Isaac? Isaac, for sure. I think. Unless we find out. Everything's caveated by unless we find out they don't start. I'm going to underline the full lineups. That is probably a good idea, isn't it? Because at least then it kind of... So the Leeds and the City lineups are like about as good as confirmed as you can get. I need to think about my FPL transfers at some point. Stream, do not let me forget. Pep's yeah. See, I kind of suspected that Pep would play a pretty much full strength lineup for this week because they've got a full week, and he's always talks about like rhythm. So he likes like his players to like keep playing and have rhythm and all that. So it's kind of a weird thing for me that he's like gone completely the other direction this week and last week. But there we are. Right. Seeing as there seems to be a slight lull in the leaks, I'm going to have a look at my FPL team. If you know, I don't know how many people that play draft also play standard FPL. I mean, I've been playing it for a long time, so I don't care about it as much as draft, definitely not. But I still do have a few mini leagues, and my team is an absolute mess. But I'm at like 120k in the world, and I'm like 4 points behind my actual 131k in the world, and I'm like 4 points behind my works mini league leader. No, like 10 points actually. So I'm going to keep Haaland, keep Isaac. Mahrez starts, that's good. See, I was planning to do Greenwood to Ferguson, start Ferguson, but he's now benched. So that doesn't make any sense. So it's probably going to have to be Anthony and Grealish out. I'm almost certain I'm going to pick up Odegaard. And then I guess it's just a punt. How much have I got? 8 million. Let's have a look at mids. I mean, I should just get Rashford. I should get Rashford. But everyone has Rashford, so I'm thinking about going differential. Foden is exciting. And I've got perfect money for that. That seems like it's written in the stars. I might do that. I'm going to wait for Arsenal news just to make sure Odegaard's starting, but I think I'm probably going to do that. Let's go back to draft. Oh dear, Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz is a tempter. I'm a big fan of Luis Diaz. I think he's amazing. He's like someone I'm hoping to be able to get in the draft next season, like if you can get Luis Diaz like at the end of the first round, start the second round, I think that's an absolute bargain. I think he's the kind of person that people will have like forgotten about. If you can get him like 10th pick, I think you're in dreamland. Oof, drop Foden. That's a shame. I didn't think Foden would start. I really thought they'd be kind of back to, back to full strength, but right, I'm going to do a quick run through of my draft teams and see if there's any problems. Pickford, Lindelof. Oh, was Lindelof starting? I can't remember now. Maguire starts. What does that mean about Lindelof? There was a full lineup going around. Now where was that lineup? How do you know Keller is starting? So Alisson didn't travel with the squad, so Alisson's definitely not playing because he's in Liverpool and they're playing in Southampton. So Alisson is definitely not starting. Kelleher will be starting. Well, I assume it's Kelleher. I don't know that, but he's their backup keeper, so I would assume it's him. You think Mitrovic is worth starting? Yeah, I do. I think United are probably going to concede. Okay, Lindelof should be starting, I think. Okay, so Lindelof's fine. Hopefully, I mean, I've got a feeling. Well, I say I've got a feeling. It doesn't strike me as likely that Robertson starts. If he had a knock, and they're rotating anyway, and they got nothing to play for, I'd be pretty confident Tsimikas starts. Anderson's fine. Gibbs, White, Bowen. I really like this midfield. No, this is a problem. Ferguson. I don't. I might just play him anyway. Who's free? I could do with a defender or any forwards. Antonio. Do we think Antonio starts? That could be a good one. I think Antonio probably starts. I'm doing it. I can just drop Nonto because I know he's not going to start anyway. I'm surprised Antonio is free, and then I can do that. Yeah, boom. Okay, that looks better. I picked up Antonio. Yeah, I think Antonio started. I mean, he hasn't started the last couple, has he? If I remember rightly. Yeah, he missed the last two, but I think he's back now. I'm pretty sure he's back now. So it should be fine. Bo and Antonio double up against the worst defence in the league. Yes, please. Not quite the worst, but one of the worst. Is Nketiah worth a punt? Solanke, Havertz, Watkins. I'm pretty sure we'll get a Chelsea lineup because there's a guy on Twitter that always posts the Chelsea lineup. Defending a 9-point league in a mini league for big money, is it worth taking a -8 to bring in Alvarez and Salah for Haaland and Mac 10? I think second will bring in Salah and take it, but not sure. I don't think so. I think I'd rather have Haaland and Mac 10 and 8 points than Alvarez and Salah. I think. I mean, you're relying on Salah going mad there because Haaland could easily come off the bench and outscore Alvarez easily. And I don't think Brentford. I think Brentford are good. That's the kind of other thing. I don't think City aren't going to roll them over. Brentford are a good side, and are they playing for Conference League? Maybe. I'm not sure. Do they need something for Conference League? They might be already out of it. Oh no, I think they're out of it. Oh no, they're not. Yeah, no, they could definitely get Conference League if they win and Villa and Spurs lose. So I like Brentford, so I probably wouldn't do that. But if you want to go for it, then go for it. I dropped Antonio for Ings. Antonio's bench a couple of games, I'm pretty sure. I think Antonio will play. I don't know, but I think he will. Ings is rubbish. Well, he's been rubbish anyway. Like, Harry Kane's going to destroy me in FPL, I think. Anyway, so this is looking fine for the time being till we know more. Okay, this team is terrible. I've got a goalkeeper problem. Mina, Trent, Ward, that's fine. Well, neither of these boys are in the squad, are they? So that's bad. Oh my god, this team's a mess. This team's an absolute mess. Christ. Is this the league that Iheanacho is free? No. Oh god. I'm sure. Did someone say no Diego Costa for Wolves? Not that that matters that much. I didn't put it on there because it doesn't matter. Eliseo Garnacho. I think I'd lean towards Garnacho. Jesus, Watkins and Awoniyi. Is it worth taking Antonio? No, I'd stick with them. I think that's a great front three. I think that Jesus, Watkins and Awoniyi I think is great. Ramsdale, Lewis, Mikalenko, Botman, Odegaard, Rashford, Eze, Wissa, Decore, Firmino, Mitro. Yeah, Botman could be potentially. Harrison Fagundo, yes. Good. That's a good transfer, in my opinion. Good transfer. Mids. What have we got? Willian's an option. Gordon, potentially. Kenny. I do think Fulham are probably going to score against United. So I'm not that bothered about the United defence really because I think Fulham are probably going to score. This is just crap now. Okay. I'm going to go for Willian for Grealish. Grealish has absolutely turned this team around for me since I picked him up in December. Gundogan's not starting, so I'll do that for now. This is still very ropey. Luckily, I've got nothing to play for in the 300 league because I've bottled it already. So it doesn't matter too much. Garnacho or Trossard? Now I'd probably stay to Trossard. If he starts, which I think he will. Hopefully we get some Arsenal. We've not had any Arsenal news at all yet. But hopefully we will. And if so, I'd go Trossard. Hey, I forgot to say, if you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button. Now's a good time while we've got a quick lull. I see there's 37 of you in the stream at the moment, so it'd be nice if you could all just mosey on down and hit that like button. Helps the channel. Very easy thing for you to do. Maybe Tom Kearney going under the radar for Fulham. Definitely. I like Tom Kearney. I really like him. I think Willian, Kearney and Wilson as a 3 behind Mitrovic is fun and pretty good. I think that's something I like to see. I like Fulham. I really like Fulham. I hope they do well again next year. Botman for Matip. Chelsea didn't do much attacking wise. Chelsea are bad. But Saints are really bad. So I think I'd go Matip. Chelsea's attack is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. In fact, let me get up the... Where is it? So, seeing as we're here, this is the Gameweek 38 cheat sheet that went out to the Patreon members. So, as you can see on here, when we look at the team data attack, I have it ranked by minutes per XG. So, how many minutes does it take for each team to get an expected goal, basically? So, if they have an minute per XG of 90, the team is expected to score 1 goal per game. So Newcastle at the top with 33.6. This is in the last 6 game weeks. That is ridiculously high. That's like them expected to score 3 goals a game, which is really good. Chelsea are 16th. 17, 18, 19, 20, 16th. And Saints and they're not much better off than Saints, who are 18th. So, judging from that, they're both good defensive fixtures. When we look at the attack, Newcastle are actually 4th. We're talking about clean sheets, aren't we? Right, so Saints are bottom. Hang on, what am I talking about? Yeah, yes. Defence, Newcastle are 4th, Liverpool are 3rd. So it's very close. If you're looking at who's going to keep a clean sheet out of Liverpool and Newcastle, the data suggests it's almost neck and neck. When you look at Chelsea, 82.4, Saints 85.6. That's basically a coin toss. And Newcastle and Liverpool are next to each other as well. They're both away, so it doesn't help much, I would say. When we look at the actual odds, this is from the bookies. The clean sheet odds, they give Liverpool 31% and Newcastle 20%, so they much prefer Newcastle. But the bookies are way more swayed by narrative and stuff, because obviously it reflects people's betting patterns, and people are way more likely to back Chelsea for a clean sheet just because of the name. So I take these are a really helpful guide. The odds are a really helpful, quick thing you can just look at. The bookies don't lose money, and you can bet either side of these markets, so they need the percentage to be pretty accurate. So these are pretty good, I'd say. The clean sheet as well, if you've got defenders that have no attacking threat, being able to just look at who shall I start, an Arsenal defender or a City defender, it's quite easy to just be okay, it's 10, they give it 10% more, so I should probably lean in that direction. I don't use it for everything, but it's definitely handy for that. Anyway, that's the plug on the cheat sheet. They'll be back next season and better than ever. And I do think, actually, just a quick plug, they're definitely worth it, because it is I actually make it and then use it to make my waivers. Anyway, Palmer or Elise? Yeah, I think Elise. Or just. Bench Ferguson, start Diaz and Trossard. Yeah, I think so. It depends if we find out about Liverpool, which I'm pretty shocked we haven't yet. That guy's an idiot. Eze and Elise start. That is great news. Great news. Let's put that on there. I mean, we were pretty confident anyway because Roy doesn't really rotate. It's like he's just like forgotten how to do that. Eze / Elise start. You should do this for summer transfer deadline day. The problem with that, Jun, and that's a great idea, and I'd love to do that. The problem is I hate the transfer deadline day. I just find it, I don't know, gross. But yeah, no, the timer is fun. It took me. I mean, I'm reasonably good with like the streaming and like the tech side of it, but it took me way longer than I'd like to admit to figure out how to get the timer to work. To be honest, like it took me a lot longer than I'd like to admit, and I've just realised it's kind of cropped off the edge of the screen when there's like a fat number, but it doesn't really matter. So, Eze and Elise start. That's great news. Great news. Anything else going on? No, not yet. Not yet. Johnson start? Yes, I think so. I'd be pretty confident with Johnson if I had him. Pretty confident. Not 100%, but pretty confident. I put it this way, I wouldn't own Gaeta because I don't think he'd start. Whew. So the main news we're waiting for, the main news I'm waiting for really, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool. They're the big ones, I think. Smash the like button. That's what I like to hear. Top man. Start Iwobi or Elise. Oh, I would not like to be in that position. I think I'd have to go for Elise. No news on Robertson yet. I am waiting patiently for Robertson because I've picked up Simi in a couple of leagues. So I'm hoping Simicast gets a start personally, but nothing yet. Nothing yet. Oh, hang on. We've just had a tweet from a very reliable guy, Sam C345 on Twitter, who has said coming up Chelsea team news. So if you're worried about Havertz, I mean Chelsea are rubbish, but hopefully we get some decent news there. What have I just done? Whoops. Chelsea team news. Come on then. You can't say coming up Chelsea team news and then not tweet it. That's just like clickbait at your finest. Jun's right. Let's go for 30. 30 would be good. Is it crazy to think about picking up Harry Maguire? I'm thinking about it. I am certainly thinking about it. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this team. Ferguson doesn't start, from what we think. I don't really want to start any. I don't really want to start 4 defenders. I want to start 3 really, but I can't really drop Nonto because there's just no forwards that I think are going to start. Daka's not starting. I'd be astounded if Nketiah starts. Moore won't start. Adam Armstrong I've got no interest in. Mope could start, I guess. That's a maybe. Mateta probably not. Cunha, I don't like the fixture really, and I don't like the Wolves' attack is horrendous. So I could go for Cunha, but I'm not, that interested. Dennis, no. Costa's not playing. Not Mara. And then everyone else, once you get down here, there's nothing really, is there? No. I might just pick up Mope just in case he starts. Because I know Nonto isn't starting, so it makes more sense to have Mope, I guess. Tielemans worth starting. Yeah, I think so. We don't know. We've not heard anything about Tielemans yet. I know the front three of Leicester is Barnes, Iheanacho, Maddison, which, I'd be I mean, we got to think Tielemans. Sims for Everton is actually someone I am considering because he's probably got just about as much chance as Mope. And I think Damari Gray, Mope or Sims, any of the three of them could start, but is Dyche going to go for the young kid in the absolute most important game of Everton's top flight history? Probably not. Maybe. Probably not. Would be my guess. Nathan, I could pick up Ake. But is Ake going to get... Now Ake, I think... So Ake starts, right? We know that. I think that's a trap. I'm putting it out there right now. I reckon Ake is going to get 50 to 55 minutes. It's got 1 pointer written all over it. I mean, I might be wrong and he could get goal, clean and bonus, but I think it's a trap because he's been out injured. He's one of their absolute most important players. They got 2 cup finals coming up, and he's back in the lineup and starting after being out with a muscle tear. That has got half an hour, half time or 55 minutes written all over it. He's definitely going to get subbed off. Whether it's before or after the hour mark is, another question. But he's definitely going to get subbed off. Definitely. I'm not going there. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. 25 minutes to go. I've still not made my FPL transfers. I've made the lineup. The draft lineups are pretty much done. This lineup is still in flex because I'm not sure what to do. But this lineup's probably the least relevant. So the Pyramid League lineup is really important because, as you can see from the league table here, I'm 1 point behind. Must win for me this week if I've got a chance at the title, and I need Moz to lose. He's playing, I think, a dead team, which is not ideal for me. So how's this team looking? This team's pretty great. So Steele over Meslier, yeah, happy with that. Mina, Gahey, Tierney. I would love some Arsenal news. I would love some Arsenal news. I'm assuming Tierney's got to start. He's got to start, surely. Mahrez is starting. Garnacho's starting. Bruno's starting. Abdoulaye Doucouré is probably starting. They're all starting. I'm happy with this lineup. I'm really happy. I think this is a great team. I mean, I could see if I can squeeze an Almiron, but I'm just not. It's Almiron versus Doucouré is the only real thing for me, I think, but I'm not going to touch it. So this lineup is locked unless Tierney doesn't start. Although I get Anderson anyway, which is fine because that's a good That's a good auto sub. So this lineup is locked. That's good. One less thing to think about. Is this lineup locked? Pickford, Lindelof. This is just waiting on Lindelof and Diogo Jota, pretty much. I'm pretty happy if Tierney plays anyway. If Trippier plays anyway. So okay, good. That's another one. Tsimikas or Estupiñán? I would say Tsimikas if he starts. So I would say Tsimikas if he starts. Okay. So the only teams left for me to worry about. Oh, I haven't even. This team is just irrelevant. This is just a fun one. But I'm just going to set the line up anyway. Weird league. Not something I'm going to do next year. Right. So we've got the 300 league left to decide, and my actual regular FPL team, which is a mess. Absolute mess. Anything else come through? No. No, we have not. Trippier or Estupiñán? I would lean. Well, actually, I'm probably being silly. I would. My instinct says Estupiñán, but after looking at the data, Newcastle are probably one of the better teams in chance to keep a clean sheet. So Trippier is probably the smarter play. Personally, I'm going to start Estupiñán. I think I've got that dilemma. I might not, but I mean in FPL I'm starting both. I think Chelsea have a decent chance at. I think Chelsea have a decent chance. Newcastle have a decent chance at a clean sheet. I've seen. So the guy that said Chelsea news coming up has just tweeted again saying can't wait for this outrage. So that leads me to believe that Mendy will probably start because a lot of FPL players have Kepa, or maybe it's just a completely bizarre team. Pedro Porro or Estupiñán? Oh, I mean Pedro Porro probably if he starts. I would assume he would. I can't see a reason why he wouldn't start, but probably Pedro Porro. Leeds attack is bad, but Leeds must win. There is no doubt about it. So do I think Tottenham keep them out? Probably not. Would Perisic start? I don't know for sure. I suspect probably not. But it's just a complete gamble. Complete gamble. I have no idea. I'm not that hot on Tottenham in terms of like who's going to start, and because they've been so bad for so long that I just haven't paid attention really. Harrison or Trossard need the Arsenal Liverpool team news? Yeah, we do. I think Trossard, as long as he starts. But even if we don't know, I know he's in the squad, so he's not injured, and that's probably the only thing that would have kept him out. I think. I mean, there's a chance that Reece Nelson starts. I put him in the waiver video this week because I fancied him to get at least a start in the run-in, and now that now that the league's done and he was ill last week, I wouldn't be surprised to see Reece Nelson start. To be honest, although the press conference didn't really help that much. ESR for X narrative, yeah, wouldn't surprise me. I think Isaac will start. I think he'll start. Yeah, I mean he's been pretty terrible for my draft team in the last few game weeks, but in real life he's actually been playing pretty well, so I think he probably will start. Yeah, but who could really say? I couldn't tell you for sure. Could not tell you for sure, unfortunately. hopefully we find out soon. Anything else coming through? Dubravka versus Steele. Oh, that's the other thing about Newcastle that I forgot to say when we were talking about them earlier. There's no Pope, which is massive. Dubravka's not bad. I'd go for Steele, I think. I don't like either of them. I don't like... The problem is everyone has a lot of Brighton and Newcastle defenders. I've got at least one in every team. Most teams more than one. And I don't like either of them for a clean sheet. I'm just benching as many defenders as possible and expecting 2 points from everyone. And then I hope I get everything from my attackers. Paqueta or Gibbs-White? I would say Gibbs-White. I think Gibbs-White is a good pick this week. Oh, goodness. Do you know, I am pretty glad that this doesn't happen every game week. Like, imagine if all the games played at the same time every game week. Or even if we had, like, the deadline where there was, like, multiple games playing at once. I like the fact that the deadline is generally just one game to worry about. Because these leaks, you know, I'm going through them today. I'll get them back up on the screen again. This stuff happens every game week. But, and like, if you're not on Twitter, you probably, like, especially if you don't play regular FPL, because most of the, you know, regular FPL is massive compared to draft. And so a lot of these leaks are based around like regular FPL, but obviously they help for draft as well. And it all is on Twitter. And if you don't play regular FPL, you probably don't really get involved in this stuff. But normally it's one game, because most of these leaks come like 2 hours before kickoff, maybe hour and a half before kickoff, something like that. So normally you've got one game to worry about really, which is the early kickoff or the Friday night game. But having all these games at once, you know, having every team potential for leaks is just so stressful. I'd rather not know. And that's one of my favourite things about Draft FPL, and I hope it's something they never change, is that once the deadline passes, the team's locked. I don't like this, like some like fan tracks in that you can keep tinkering your lineup throughout the game week. You can make subs as it goes on, but I don't like that because I like setting my team and then just like see what happens. Like I've rolled the dice and then we can see what happens. Ruben Loftus-Cheek starts for Chelsea. I mean, that's cool, I guess. Does anyone really care about that? I don't, but I'm going to put it in anyway. Assume Sterling won't play? Yeah, no, Sterling won't play. Sterling's dead for the time being. Okay, we have a confirmed United lineup, so I better put that in, I suppose. And that is De Gea, Dalot, Maguire, Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia, Casemiro, Fred, Sancho, Bruno, Garnacho, Rashford. So this is the lineup that I said probably about an hour ago now and thought it was legit, but I wasn't like sure enough to put it on here. But now we know, because that's the United stand that have tweeted that out, and they are very good. Conor Gallagher starts as Piliqueta at right back. These are the worst leaks ever. I mean, Gallagher and Aspi. I mean, it's useful if you own Gallagher. I mean, a lot of people own Gallagher, to be fair. So it's useful if you're going to start him. I'm not keen on starting a Chelsea defender this week anyway, really. Gallagher, I guess I would potentially start if I owned him, but I reckon there's probably better options out there. Start Lindelof or Malacia. Have to start one United defender. If I was only going to start one, well, Lindelof's better on bonus. Malacia probably has more assist threat. So it's kind of a toss-up, really. I'd probably go for Lindelof, personally. What draft you're in has the most teams? So pretty much all of them are 10-team leagues. The Snake Draft League has 11 teams. It used to be 12, but one of them went travelling, so we're down to 11. I think 10 is perfect, in my opinion. I think 10 teams is difficult. There's not the best waiver options, but there's enough room to uncover a gem. I think if you go too low, it's hard. I think if you have like 6 or less, there's so many waiver options that it becomes like a bit of a coin toss a lot of the time. Whereas I think 10 is perfect, in my opinion. Like, I would always strive for 10. But, you know, all the leagues I'm actually on the FPL site, those 3 leagues I was just looking at a minute ago, they are all run by a guy that has been in this chat. Did I just mute my mic? No. A guy that has been in this chat, Jun. You would have seen him commenting earlier. He runs a load of leagues on Discord, and they've got promotion, relegation, different buying amounts, all sorts. It's like an incredible cornucopia of draft FPL. Here he is, JJ. Yeah. So, and he's like, just a little shout out to him. Like, the amount of work he puts in is amazing. Makes it really good. So, yeah, good work. And I'll be back next year, of course. Start Kelleher or Edison? Probably Edison, I think. Probably Edison. What 3 out of Ward, Tsimikas, Matip, Keane, Ward, Tsimikas, and Matip? Oh no, I don't. It depends who starts. Definitely Ward, and I'd probably just go for Matip and Keane, or Tsimikas and. I'll probably go for Matip and Keane just for the reliability of starts. Is Buena for Matoma stupid? I don't think that's stupid. You want the starter. They're playing the same position. I know Matoma, but Matoma's form's not been amazing lately. So I would go for Buena Notte. What is the time for? That is the deadline. That is the game week deadline. We've got 10 minutes to go. Thank you for reminding me. 10 minutes to go to finalise your teams, boys and girls. No, I'm hearing no Robbo. Not well. Okay, so we've got a tweet that says, not my usual source, but hearing no Alisson, no VVD, no Robbo. Now, we already know about Alisson and VVD. So, FPL Heisenberg, that is, and he is pretty good, generally. I've been confident all week that Tsimikas is going to start. Because why would Klopp risk Robertson if he's coming back from a knock or a strain or something? Why would Klopp risk him in a game that's irrelevant? That, like, in a game he might have benched him anyway. I don't see Robertson starting, even with no leaks at all. I think it'd be crazy if Robertson started. Mings, Trippier, Anderson, Mina, or drop either defender for a midfielder like Harrison. I think I would rather play Harrison over Mings or Trippier. I'm planning on starting 3 defenders if possible in every team because there's so many goals in Gameweek 38. There's so many goals. Should I wait longer or go Enciso for Firmino? We're getting close. I'm going to have to make my FPL transfers because I do not want the site to crash. I do not want this. Yeah, we've got, 8 minutes? 8.5 minutes. It seems like, Liverpool and Arsenal news is not coming. Okay. Now this is, so we've got Salah and Firmino start according to James Wathland. No idea on his history. So I have no idea if this guy is... Let me have a look at this guy. I mean, he's tweeting stuff about transfers. He tweeted Matip starts, Firmino starts. I think this guy seems legit. I don't know who he is, but I thought Firmino was going to start anyway. So I'm going to say I would go for the Enciso to Firmino move. I think I'd go for it. It seems like Firmino starting. That's what people are saying. That's interesting. That means Diaz is unlikely, I'd say. Rodrigo or Luis Diaz. I guess probably Rodrigo for the minutes. But Rodrigo could start. It could be Salah, Firmino, Diaz. It could be Salah, Firmino, Jota. You know, that's a coin toss. I keep saying coin toss. That's a coin toss. Gallagher or Tielemans? I would say Tielemans, I think. Kepa, Martinez, I'll pick up Kelleher. Kepa, I think. No. Martinez, I think. Martinez. Okay. Right, I need to make these FPL transfers before I do anything else. It looks like we're getting nothing from Arsenal, which is a shame. Because I would have considered taking a punt. But I'm going to go... I need to get rid of these two. I'm definitely going to go Odegaard. Because I wanted him anyway. And then the other one... 8 million... I'm going to go for Philly Foden, I think. It's Foden or Rashford. Rashford could absolutely destroy me. That's the question. Do I want to go for it or do I want to just hope? Oh no, this guy. There's a guy that I know has got one wrong in the past, and he's saying Ramsdale, Gabriel, Saka, Trossard, Xhaka, Odegaard, Jesus start. Now, I think they're the obvious ones anyway. I think all of them would start anyway, so I think this guy's full of rubbish. But he's probably right about those ones, but I think he's guessing. Will Iheanacho start? Yes, Iheanacho will start. Should I bench McNeil and play Awoniyi? That's really tough. I would probably play Awoniyi just because of the form he's in. Drop Diaz? Diaz is probably the hardest call of any player in draft at the moment, I think. Because he could start and absolutely light it up. We don't know about Diaz. We've got no Diaz news yet. I don't think I'd be able to bench him. I think I'd have to start him. No Arsenal news yet. No Eriksen. Eriksen benched. Rodrigo over Mitoma, in my opinion. Need to bench one of Buendia, McNeil, Decore. I'd bench Buendia, I think. Don't know about Reece Nelson. The guy only listed 6 players, so not that helpful. Start Jones over Enciso, Felix or Nacho. I'd start Iheanacho. Ings or Edouard? Edouard for me. You've been so helpful. Best channel for draft. Hey, thank you very much. You're welcome. Oh my god, I got 3 minutes to make these transfers. Stop distracting me. It's Foden versus Rashford. I think I'm just gonna go for it. I've got nothing to lose. My rank's rubbish anyway. Grealish, Anthony, Odegaard, Foden. Boom. Done. Pick team. I hope all these boys play because my bench is looking pretty bad. Steele versus Kepa is the last thing. It's got to be Steele. I think Kepa's toast. Okay, that's that long. I'm just going to... Mope or Vardy. Mope, I think. Start Diaz or Harrison? I'd probably start Harrison just for the... Wilson or Firmino? Probably Firmino. Or Will. Oh, no, don't ignore that. Probably Wilson. Nacho over Edouard. If you're enjoying the tension, hit the like button, as Jun said. Jones over Ayew. I think I'd go for Ayew, personally. FPL draft is like what we all play. Standard FPL is like you get a budget. You can pick any players you want. Well, there's a few limitations, but they all cost a certain amount. And you can pick anyone you want. And you play against other teams that have like the same players that you have. Benching Mings for Diaz. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the play. He might not. I mean, it's a risk, but I think Villa will probably concede. I think Liverpool will score. Right, let me just check my teams quick because I've got like 1 minute. So, Salah captain. Yeah, I think so. Bruno. That's done. Draft. Okay, 20. Pick team. Jota's a bit annoying because I'm not sure if he's going to start now. But I think that's fine. Oh, I got 1 minute 20. Not even that long. Absolute concentration. Yeah, happy. Happy. Okay, we are done. God, that was... How long we got to the deadline? Like 50 seconds or something. Stress. Absolute stress. Start Kepa or Kelleher? Probably... Oh, I don't know. Kelleher, I'd say. Best of luck, everyone. Yeah, good luck, everyone. Thank you all for joining me. This has been probably the most stressful... Well, easily the most stressful stream of my life, but... yeah, it looks like we're pretty much there. This is now when you... Like, the deadline passes, but there's still half an hour till the... There's still half an hour till the thing the actual lineups come out. Oh, Kepa starts, so that's good news. And that's it. Deadline has passed. Let's just move that over. I don't know why that's a bit bad. Well, thank you all for joining me, everyone. This has been an absolute wild ride this season. We've gone from like... I started doing it last season, and I kind of stopped halfway through the year because I just felt like I was really busy and wouldn't really put much into it. But this year, I thought I'm just gonna give it a proper bash and see what we can see how it goes. You know, like actually put some effort into the channel, see what we can do. And it's been a pretty great year. So thank you everyone for sticking with me because it's been great fun, lots of interaction. It's no fun if no one comments and no one messages you and that because you feel like no one's paying attention. So yeah, thank you all for sticking with me for the entire year. Yeah, and we'll be back. I'm probably going to do a season recap video next week. Just, you know, go over my teams, have a look at the draft, how many people I changed. Spoiler alert, I think most teams have like one player that I actually drafted from the start. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Good luck this week, everyone. Hope you all do well, win your leagues. And yeah, I'll catch you all next time. Yeah, so that's that then. Right, I will speak to you all later. I'm off down the pub to watch some football. And hopefully I finish with a couple of won leagues. Thank you all for joining me. And we'll see you next time.